Hey guys, welcome back to another update brought to you by Deccan Storms 2 or Deccan's Tracking Storms. And well, today we'll be covering Tropical Storm Lala, and we will also be covering Tropical Storm Herman, which has been named, by the way. Tropical Storm Hernan did get named earlier on this morning. I think about 11 o'clock British summertime. I think it was. I think it was about 10 o'clock UTC time. So pretty much, my main focus is on Lala at the moment, guys, because Lala is going to be impacting the Hawaiian Islands. Probably as a 70-mile-an-hour storm or a 75-mile-an-hour hurricane. But, I mean, right now, you can see Lala is looking pretty decent. Obviously, there's still some areas of where Lala is not looking that good around here, this bit area. But the center circulation right now of Lala, right? Center circulation for Lala right now is about here. The center is inside this circle. Let me make a better circle. The center is here of Lala right now. You've got this area of convection, but you've got some good outflow bands. You've got some good inflow bands. You have the area. You have some good spin. So you got spin coming from the south like this. So you got spin coming from the south, pretty much like this. So you got spin coming from the south, and you got spin coming from the north like this, which indicates of a healthy tropical cyclone. But Lala, it will get its act together, and the NHC are expecting this to become a hurricane in the next at the end of the 7-day cone. They're expecting this to become a hurricane. So I believe that Lala right now, right? Let me try and minimize this. There we go. So I believe right now, okay, I'll put that there. Right, so put that down there. Now, though, I think it's looking good on Salah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, just look how good that is. A massive improvement from yesterday. I mean, you got half of the convection covered here. All it needs now is to get this part of the convection, this part of the center circulation covered. As soon as it's done that, it can start to intensify, or start to rapidly intensify. But yeah, this is what they are indicating anyway. Aircraft reconnaissance are heading into the storm at the moment. They took off from Hawaii, from the big island of Hawaii. So they're heading into Lala at the moment. We also got the remnants of Tropical Storm Cristobal, which could affect the Azores and could affect Europe next week. We got Tropical Storm Hernan, which is 40 knots, which is 50 miles an hour. Or 40 miles an hour, should I say. Not really going to do nothing. I was surprised when it formed, to be fair. We've got obviously we've got Lala, of course. There are hurricane there are hurricane watches in effect for Hawaii at the moment. They are expecting. I think they're probably expecting it to become a hurricane before Hawaii. But on 2 a.m. Tuesday Hawaiian Standard Time, they're expecting it to become a hurricane. But it could become a hurricane before that. It was supposed to be hitting the Hawaiian Islands yesterday's update, but in update actually, I believe today's update, right? They have the storm a little bit further south of the Hawaiian Islands, which is good news. Because the storm will just be heading like this. But the storm can track anywhere along in that cone. The storm can track anywhere in that cone. So, anywhere in this cone is where the storm 100% will track. Because it can sometimes go outside the cone, do that, and do that. That's why it's the cone of uncertainty. Because the storm can track outside and north of the cones or south of the cone. So, anyway, guys, hope you enjoy the video. So, anyway, go back and see the National Hurricane website, and well, obviously, to be fair, 92 has downgraded. It generates to a post-tropical remnant low. This is the final NHC advice, so they're giving it 30 miles an hour, 1080 millibars. Moving northeast at 16 miles an hour. Tropical Herman, 45 miles an hour, 1,000. And then obviously Lala, they're giving it 40 miles an hour, 1,000 millibars. This is what they are expecting. So I can tell you the discussion. I've already showed you the code. So this is what they're expecting. So 45 knots. So they're expecting about 60. They do expect 70 miles an hour, then weakening in 72 hours, and then obviously you get some 70 to 80 knots. So we get some 60 knots to 70 knots. It says here, Lala is moving generally westward at about 9 knots. Track forecast facilitates, appears fairly straightforward. A large mid-level high keeps Lala on a westward to west-northwestward track, taking core of the system near just south of the Big Island by early Saturday. Lala will remain very likely south of the small islands. To the south, this cycle and the NHC track forecast has been nudged to the south. This cycle and the National Hurricanes track forecast has been nudged south in direction. It's important to note that the NHC 48-hour track error is about 50 to 60 miles. The storm is likely to strengthen during the next couple of days as the environmental conditions appear gradually favorable for the system. The NHC current forecast brings Lala up to 60 knots around the time it nears the Big Island. But there is some very there are some very skillful guidance, including the Google DeepMind and the HCCA, that shows it becoming a Category 1 hurricane before that time. Upper level low is expected to develop and impact shear, helping intrude dry air in the circulation when Lala moves to the south of the smaller islands, and that could cause some weakening this weekend. However, re-strengthening is forecasted early next week when the weekend. However, re-strengthening is forecasted when the forecast lines near the high when the system. However, re-strengthening is forecasted early next week when the system pulls away from the Hawaiian Islands. The NHC intensity forecast lies near away from the Hawaiian Islands. The NHC intensity forecast lies near the high end of the guidance in the short term, but lies near the middle of the guidance envelope thereafter. So yeah, that's anyway, guys. That's Lala for you. But yeah, anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you all in the next update. And I will have a new update coming out on Invest 94L, because obviously 92L is going to die because it had the shot earlier to become a tropical depression, but it never did, and the wind shear is too high. So 94L could be the one behind it, where it could become a significant system. So yeah, anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. See you all on the next update. Stay safe, stay updated. If you live in Hawaii, get your hurricane preparedness kits ready right now, because it only takes one storm to do significant amounts of damage. And you guys haven't had a hurricane. You haven't had a hurricane near Hawaii since 2024, but you haven't had a hurricane landfall on Hawaii in record. Yes, Iniki did not make landfall on Hawaii. Iniki passed the Hawaiian Islands. So, anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. See you on the next update. Stay safe, stay updated, stay tuned, stay blessed, and Declan Storms out, and peace out.